This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Meta AI is the personal AI to help you with whatever you need. Plus, it meets you where you are. Not only is Meta AI now an app, but it's also on the apps you already know and love: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, plus the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. It's easy to access wherever you are. So whether you're talking or texting, Meta AI is convenient to use throughout your day. Experience Meta's newest AI that's tailored to you by downloading the Meta AI app. Try the Meta AI app today on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things: fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
What's happening here? We have an iHeart Week Track. That means, I mean, if you find it on the podcast, ain't nobody going to lose jobs. So it's one of those iHeart Week Tracks, but it's pod safe, and it's playing, and no commercials are playing.
We may have just had the shortest spot block in the history of radio.
I was just kidding about those tumbleweeds blowing through the...
Were you?
Yeah, the accounting. I mean, maybe it is that bad.
Well, first of all,
we got to talk more?
It's my job to look through a log.
Yeah.
And I looked through the log. Mm-hmm. I did not see that we basically had a traffic bed in. That was it. Yep. And so...
Sounds like Abbott's fault.
I'm gonna blame Dropfoot on this, but he'll blame me, and there'll be some sort of inquiry at a meeting, and a demerit, something will go in a file, and we'll eventually move on.
Can we cut a deal here? Maybe something got jammed up.
Yeah.
So maybe I hit commercial right here, come back, talk for a minute, hit it again. That's all the commercials for the final hour. We talk for 25 minutes consecutive. Kick Alec Lewis in the nuts, call it a day, and leave at 11:40. This might be a life changer. What's happening right now?
Or I can, to leave at 11:40, I just have to pull out all the pauses in the remaining breaks, and then we just have one long segment, and we can go.
I don't know what's going on. They're telling me this is on video. I don't know if you guys are on the air. I mean,
we're on video now.
You have to understand. Okay. I'm just I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, this Zach Halverson, who's intrepid, he came in and said, "Do you guys mind if we film the final hour or 50 minutes of 9 to noon?" Of course not. I just like why? See. You're an emerging star. He can't get enough of Alec Lewis, right?
The moonshine thing is interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever had it? Of course you have. Have you ever had it non-flavored from a bar? No, I mean like the...
Oh, you're like all natural.
Well, it goes like this. Have you ever drilled a hole in the lid of a pressure cooker and threaded it with copper tubing?
I don't think so.
Have you ever boiled, after that, 10 gallons of water and cooked 10 pounds of cornmeal until it thickens? Then you stir 10 pounds of sugar and a half ounce of yeast to start the fermentation process. Then you cover the mixture and store it in a cool, dark place to finish fermenting. You strain the mash and heat it in the pressure cooker.
I've never strained the mash.
And then the alcohol forms.
So you've
never strained the mash?
No, I have not. So at 6 a.m. this morning.
A while.
No, at 6 a.m. this morning.
High methanol count.
Nobody's mash getting strained anymore.
Real quick. You're off the rails, by the way. But so 6 a.m. this morning, you're sitting back in the offices of the iHeart facility, just looking up how do you make moonshine and copying the recipe. I don't know, how did that even, and Nordo, you can maybe step in, but how was that going through your head?
Well, I can't, what do you mean? Maybe I can step, I wasn't there either.
Yeah, but maybe how his brain works better than I do.
Well, I had nothing. And so therefore, when you start from nothing, as Billy Preston once may have sung, nothing from nothing leads to nothing. So we had to have something.
Right.
If you want to be with 9 to noon. So after I thought of the word moonshine, akin to you or tied to you, very stereotypical. Your hometown's Anniston, Alabama. At one point in the 60s, it was top 14 in the country for alcohol-related busts involving moonshine.
That's fair.
So then now I got the word moonshine on my mind, and I wanted to say, this is moonshine to noon. Well, now I got to write it out.
Sure, you'd have to strain the mash at that point. Yeah. There was no other alternative.
There's going to be a day that old mash is strained and nobody's going to know.
I don't know what that means. This is where being employed by the New York Times, you start to worry sometimes with some of that stuff. But anyway, how are you?
Do your paychecks actually have New York Times on it?
I don't.
Or it's direct deposit, right?
Yeah.
So you get paid.
Yeah, paychecks. I don't know if I've ever had a paycheck at my age.
Wow. That's so beautiful when you say things like that. Have you ever made a call from a phone booth?
Absolutely not. The only
that's awesome.
The only real.
How old are you again? 26?
28.
Yeah, 28.
I'm getting old here, by the way. The phone booth. I don't have much experience with phone booths.
Yeah.
You hear coaches all the time say, "Man, he plays in a phone booth."
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, but I appreciate it. And the other thing I'll say is in London. There's that famous red one that people take pictures by near Big Ben.
Yeah, Carfax Abbey.
I saw that, and I plan to see it again this fall as the Vikings play in London.
Another game in Tottenham Hotspur.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
I loved that. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. Well, what about for the third time?
I didn't go the first time. In 22, the double doink, the Saints game.
I can't wait to go. Just let the record show.
I'm excited. I can see how pumped you are.
It's a privilege. It's a blessing to be able to do things like this. There ain't no doubt about it. We're not failing to recognize the fun and or blessings with the jobs. However, it's like doing, calling these games. There aren't many places where you get the now. See, your lot in life covering it as a scribe. Mm-hmm. You're in the crowd in the 20th row, and the 20. It's like an unbelievably great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm in some freaking conference room that's enclosed, and I'm racetrack raised, so I call all the games off binoculars in the first place. The distance and or angles really don't matter to me unless you're Greg Joseph in Glendale, Arizona, and I think it went in and actually went right. So nevertheless, and that at least it wasn't a game winner. Okay, 3-2. But so therefore that generally doesn't get to me. It's just the sterile conference room aura or lack thereof of calling the game from there. Then I look at my binoculars and There's young Alec.
No, that
20-yard line, just like outside with the roofs.
It did rain. It did rain last year, and so you're out there and you're getting wet and you're kind of outside. I did have to do the pregame radio thing that I do with Muss that I miss half of them because I don't know how to get to the box, but. And I had to go up to that suite where you call the game to do it. And I asked one of the security guards, like, how do I get up? And they're like, take the elevator up to floor 4, go around the corner.
Not the elevator, the lift.
Whatever. Yeah, the lift.
I have all the lingo down. Lift, yes, I'll mind the gap. And sure, my coffee cup, the top is dodgy. But how do I get to the booth?
I never forget, I got up to the top and like Quasey was right outside the lift, as you want to call it. And he's like, what are you doing up here? Type deal. I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
He liked you then?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Hey. So you got rained on last year? Was it drizzling?
It was a little drizzle.
Yeah. See, some people thought it was precipitation. For Aaron Rodgers, that Van Ginkel pick 6 wasn't moisture. It was a purple rain.
The unspoken aspect of that game,
it was so stupid,
is Will Reichard was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable in that game. In the elements, in the soccer state. He was, I'm not sure what the final score was. They probably won by 8 or something. Stephon Gilmore picked off the game winner. It was cool. But, and I'll never forget after, and I don't know if I should say this, but in the press conference after, Brandon Marshall, the longtime receiver, was asking some of the craziest questions I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing work with Sky Sports, the ESPN of Britain or whatever, Europe, whatever. And by the way, that's like the big dog sports thing, Sky Sports in London, in England. But every time I watch, it's freaking cricket.
I always love that.
It ain't crickets. It's the game of cricket. Okay, so you can bet on it over there. It's super popular. I got no idea how they play cricket. Do you?
No clue. Yeah. Absolutely no idea.
Looks fun, though.
They got a mallet, like something with which John or my dad would spank us when we were bad. They're hitting some croquet stick. It's a weird pitching motion where the ball actually doesn't come out. I have no idea how to play this thing.
I should know. And as the journalist that I am, I'm kind of curious about it.
You're very curious, no doubt.
Very curious. So I should know more about cricket, but
there used to be like a cricket club, pre-kids living in Loring Park, south side of Minneapolis. There was in that park every Saturday, it felt like all day, this massive cricket match every weekend. No, they absolutely love it. Handball is massive. I've seen Highlight.
Oh yeah, Highlight.
Highlight looks sweet.
Yeah,
with the hook thing.
Highlight's aggressive.
No, exactly. But you can bet on all that stuff over there.
Is that like bocce ball?
I went to Highlight in South Florida one time where it's super popular, and I think you can bet on it or something. I mean, with all due respect, it looked like the biggest fixed game that I've ever seen this side of the World Series of Poker, and the controversy a couple of people are dealing with now, where one guy won $1.5 million, another guy won $1 million, one guy had a 9-1 chip lead. World Series of Poker is like, no, he's dumping chips. He's like purposely not showing his hand and dumping chips. I don't understand. You read it, right?
No.
Okay, I don't understand. I saw it at ESPN.com. I don't understand what
there's some kind of World Series of Poker shenanigans going on?
Yes, and there was like $2.5 million in a purse. It was called the Millionaire Maker or something like that.
That's what it was, yeah.
And Phil Ivey involved?
No, I didn't recognize the names. Phil Ivey got some Captain Cool to him, too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
that guy. I mean, when he was on the beam, I was watching poker. It was just like him, Doyle Brunson.
Tom Dwan.
Yep, you had Chris Moneymaker. I mean, you had some high-level names there.
I could do some poker back in the day in Anniston.
But there was there's a chip dumping controversy that's taking place. Like, say, Alec has a 9-1 chip lead on me. Well, all of a sudden, in the middle of it, Alec isn't showing his hands, but is calling every raise I'm making and like tripling it. and then dropping.
Interesting.
So the other guy could win more money than him.
So Jesse Yaganuma and then James Carroll were at the final table of the Millionaire Maker.
See if this makes sense.
There's
to
an
either
agent.
one of
There's
you
an
who
NFL
are both
agent named
smarter than
James
me.
Carroll.
So
Really?
chip dumping at a basic level is you're just conceding.
Yeah.
You're intentionally bleeding money to your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Carroll had a 10-1 chip lead, and Yaganuma came back and won. And so they're saying not showing cards.
Yep.
And this is a longer article explaining more of the specifics of that event. But yeah, that's
and the World Series of
absolutely
Poker is not paying out the money or giving the bracelet until
that was for the win?
Yes. Until this is $2.5 million we're talking about here. Until this alleged flim-flam comes to fruition, you know?
That's interesting. I'm going to have to go read this story later today.
I don't understand what the problem is somebody would have if, well, let me get this straight. I have 10 million in front of me. Alec has 1 million. I want to give him money via chip dumping, and he's going to end up winning the top prize and getting the bracelet, but I'm still getting $1 million out of it.
Yeah, I wish.
What the hell?
I'm still trying to find what the payout was, but the key is that Yaganuma, who ultimately comes back and wins, as part of that win, he qualifies for.
There we go.
A Club WPT Gold promotion that awards him an extra $1 million bonus.
Oh, geez!
And so is there
now if the guy who is the alleged dumper, no relation to Cal Raleigh,
yeah,
big
right.
dumper
I knew you were going there. Knew it.
It's that predictable.
Yeah, I knew. When I heard, I know you like
big
that nickname.
Dumper.
Yeah,
I just learned the nickname earlier this week,
and I know you had to love it.
Okay, so if the guy with the lead is Big Dumper Guy, and he already is qualified for this thing, and he wants his dog to qualify, so he's going to dump chips. There lies the rizzle.
And what if he has the chance to make more money with the promotion? So he's like, I'll actually, under the cover of darkness, give you that $1 million promotion I'm getting, just as long as I qualify and get in. So you don't lose anything by finishing second, but I get the opportunity to dance in this other thing.
Yeah, but see,
the integrity of the game. It's lost forever.
I know, but see, that's what people are saying. Like the tournament organizers are talking about the integrity of the poker world in Texas Hold'em. I'm like, bro, they've been cheating since Billy the Kid started the game. I mean, we can't be surprised here. Billy the Kid came busting in through a saloon passage, had 5 bourbons, held up his gun, cheated, and took everybody's money. They didn't complain about that.
The only thing I don't understand is if, you know, and I don't play, other than a home game, I don't play a lot of poker because I'm not great at it. But if I'm trying to game the system, I would game it here. Like, let's team up, you and IPA, and take every dollar that Alec has to his name. So I will intentionally fold to you, maybe, or maybe there's things more nefarious.
You know that happens.
Oh, 100% it does.
Yeah.
But so if you're at like opening round of the main event and you're at a table with 9 L's, but one of your buddies is there too, maybe you guys run kind of a road game. You guys try to
That's a
kind
scene
of
in
work
Rounders.
to each other's.
Yeah.
So, but heads up. Now if I'm actually cheating, could it ever be more obvious than in a heads up scenario?
Correct. And if you have a 10-1 chip lead, your probability of winning, it has to be about 97% or higher. And then all of a sudden you go to Cal Raleigh mode. The other guy wins, gets qualification into some tournament.
Yeah, and they get that extra $1 million, and they're in a back alley splitting it right now.
Yeah,
but
they won't pay it out. You're saying,
but what an idiot! I mean, seriously, it's like all of this is filmed. You show your card to
unless you don't.
Alex's favorite portion of the equation, the peeper hole.
This show is naughty and might make you a potty mouth.
Well, apparently you didn't laugh at that one, did you, Alex?
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Our glasses are all fogged and you can't see.
We started with moonshine and now we're on poker. What's next?
Well, he's not laughing because a place that offered some peeper holes just closed down. Yeah. Actually, in your neighborhood, it sounds like.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Certain establishment.
Well, it's we're approaching break time, so we might have the greatest news in the history of radio. Breaks at KFAN have become 15 seconds.
I was going to say, we're approaching break time.
Yeah.
I can verify we have a break this time.
Well, we also have money to give away.
Yes, we do.
We got the cash thing, and here it is.
And no collusion necessary, by the way. It's just a keyword. The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com, enter the keyword bank, and you might win some money to put in the bank. Keyword bank at KFAN.
Meta AI is the personal AI to help you with whatever you need. Plus, it meets you where you are. Not only is Meta AI now an app, but it's also on the apps you already know and love. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Plus, the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. It's easy to access wherever you are. So whether you're talking or texting, Meta AI is convenient to use throughout your day. Experience Meta's newest AI that's tailored to you by downloading the Meta AI app. Try the Meta AI app today on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
And
Fan.
What up, PA, Nordo, Alec as well, and good morning. My only question to him is, does he regret decisions about joining the feast?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Fair question.
What was his name?
When you're at times joining and or co-hosting the Friday Football Feast, we're going to make sure Jared Wells has this covered for you. Turning on the microphone when you talk.
I turned it on.
Okay, well, it's off still. Hello?
Am I doing something wrong?
Alec, the mic that you turned on is the one to your right.
Well, I usually don't sit.
It's going to be great.
No, I don't sit in the seat because we're on video.
At least we don't get a lot of people there.
No, the question that I what's his name? Do I regret? I mean, yeah, we talked about moonshine and poker for 30 minutes. I was ready for the hard-hitting questions about Bo Richter, Taki Taimani, Mekhi Blackman,
I'm not.
Southern. Okay.
I'm not ready for those questions because that's going to encompass and envelop our lives a month and a half from now.
You act like it's not enveloping my life right now. You act like I wasn't on the phone with the coach this morning about Will Fries.
I'm not casting it. And by the way, how is Phil Fulmer?
They've had no crossover.
How is Philip Fulmer?
I'm sure he's great.
How is Lefty Drizel? I haven't chatted with him in a while. 3-2.
I have talked to some Tennessee coaches recently.
I'm not casting an aspersion on work ethic or lack thereof. It's just, I subscribe to The Athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen the volume of stories of late.
I always love that one.
I'll just end it right there.
Yeah, there hasn't been look, there's just not that much to say at the present, but that doesn't mean there's not some very, convicted work ahead on some bigger stuff. But no, do I regret the Friday? I already go to the Friday football feast. Yeah. I've driven to St. Cloud to sit with you guys and
Monticello. Oh no, you went to St. Cloud too.
Absolutely.
Damn, that's right. We had one there.
Maple Grove, Chanhassen.
Yep. Elk River. Yep. Egan.
Plymouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's been my way to learn the beautiful parts of this state, city, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we have some fun plans for the Friday football feast this year, including I think Nordo's going to be involved with some of them.
He should.
And Ask Alec Anything is going to be unbelievable, especially once the season gets going.
Did you want to ask me if we should do that, or you just thought we should just do that?
Dan Cole, the common man, he sent in a text to the 64686, the text machine. And it's copyright somebody named Barbara Walters.
Heard of her.
But he said, can you ask him this question? Is wearing women's underwear part of your turn on?
I always love that one.
I have no idea what to say to that.
Is that from the Marv Albert bit? Is that what that's
Bill
from?
Bill Clinton.
Was it Clinton?
I think it was Bill Clinton.
It's before my time. I don't know.
Maybe. What did Marv do?
I thought Marv was wearing. I thought there was a controversy. He was caught wearing a bra, or he wore.
There might be. There's a gross story out there.
Hang on.
About Marv Albert and hotel rooms and special lights. Marv Albert was accused by multiple flight attendants of biting them in the back. Like in the throes of passion, he would go vampire on it. And I bit.
What am I supposed to say?
Yes. Do you remember Marv Albert?
Yeah, as an announcer.
Yeah, and I'm not making that up. So
no, I'm finding
down. He was good
from '97.
No, that's Harlan you're talking about.
I'm just reading the first sentence from a Google search. The spokesman review testimony stuns court, and a surprise witness testified Wednesday that Marv Albert, wearing white panties and a garter belt, bit her 3 years ago in a Dallas hotel room.
Oh, geez.
So
right.
That's why I thought it was Marv Albert with the "is that part of your turn on?"
Yeah, and
which I think is
why wouldn't you?
That's a fair journalistic question.
And
I don't know if Alec's ever been put in a spot to have to ask that, but I think he would and should.
I've never.
You ever been in the throes of passion and somebody tried to bite you in the back?
I want to hear the next question.
There isn't a question. For the final 20 minutes of the show, off that last story, I am RuPaul Allen. You are Alec Lewis. And we'll see now. Nordo just left the room,
and I'm out.
You know the meme where Homer Simpson backs into the hedges?
Yes,
that's what I want to do now.
I love that. The NBA draft. You being an NBA guy?
Oh yeah,
it's huge. Second year of the 2-day draft. I know you have one friend, but outside of that, you don't have many friends. So I would imagine that you probably watched a fair amount of it. And if so, what do you think?
I didn't watch it.
Well, you have two friends, three, Nordo, me, and
Tim
Siegley.
Tim Siegley.
Well, it's four friends.
No,
that's right.
The draft.
Wow, that was a hell of a pull by you right there.
The two things for me with the draft. The first would be
I'll need your address before we leave today.
I can't understand the
banker pays.
The hat thing that they can't figure out.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. The other aspect of the draft that
the hat thing is age old with basketball. All the way back to Ray Allen.
The other thing with this specific draft that I thought was just the Pelicans doing with trading for the future first round pick. It's like the ultimate bad process thing that is like you think you evaluate better than everybody else. You think you're seeing the field smarter than everybody else. It usually does not work out. But no, this draft,
did you watch any highlights like on the X Machine or YouTube or anything? And what I'm getting at here is when the Wolves select 17th, when they take an 18-year-old center, a big man whose arms go from Maui to Maine, and he runs like the wind. All right, who got taken in front of him? Oh, another 7-footer who's close to the same age. Well, I want to see how that guy plays a little bit, wondering if we got sniped. I just wonder if they got sniped. I don't have any because the guy in front of Joan Béranger, The guy in front of him is big, and he's a developmental project. But I mean, when they run that high post offense with this Yang Hansen, he, like I said 4 times now this week, it's 100% he modeled his game after Joker. 100%. Every little nuance related spin, ball at the top of the key, doing it the way he does it. It's all Joker. Not a bad guy to model your game off of.
Here's what I'd say. And I don't know Tim Connolly at all, but
how's that possible? You wrote sidebars during the NBA playoffs the last 2 years. How do you not meet the president of the team?
It just hasn't come up. It just hasn't. We haven't crossed paths.
Arif Hassan would have made it his first interview.
Does Krasinski let you ask a question during pressers when you're doing stringer work?
Absolutely. John couldn't be better in terms of giving me the runway to enjoy what I'm doing. But
are you required to sit in the front row because Finchie complained one time that you mumble and or ask questions with a murmur, like you whisper? So Finchie's like, get him in the front row from now on.
I don't think Finchie has any idea who I am. Where I saw him the other night at Parlor in the North Loop.
I'm aware.
Yeah, and but no, my point was, I don't know Tim Connolly, but just his track record, even the way like he communicates with the media, it feels very much to me he is as.
Wait, you think
sharp.
it's a charlatan?
No, he's as sharp, savvy, and like comfortable in his process as you could possibly be, and so I would just trust in the pick.
Yeah.
But like the thing with every draft is.
But they might have gotten sniped.
I mean, maybe, but the draft is a dart throwing exercise. It's
NBA or all drafts?
All drafts. Yeah. The NFL draft. Yeah. It's like everyone has an opinion on every player, but nobody really knows because you're projecting what a 20-year-old is going to be in an entirely different environment.
Or an 18-year-old.
Or an 18-year-old. And if you took me as an 18-year-old or you as an 18-year-old and place them into an entirely different place around an entirely group of people,
100%.
Things are going to pan out entirely different. So the draft to me is a fun exercise. It's a silly one, and it's as uncertain as it possibly gets. And so to act, I always laugh at people who, you're like retrofitting. We really saw the future with him. It's like, yeah, you might have seen certain qualities, but you never know. That's just how it goes.
Right. And you'll only hear about the SODs, the steals of the draft, who work out well.
Exactly.
You're not going to hear about, well, we traded up, didn't 5 years ago you trade to get into the first round to get that 5th-year option, and this guy's terrible and he's no longer on the team? Wasn't that you too?
Well,
you guys never ask questions like that.
I'm working on something, or I've just talked to a lot of people in the last few weeks about J.J. McCarthy, and like in high school,
how is Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, and in high school,
you talked to Jim Harbaugh, right?
I haven't yet. Not. I mean, it's.
Yeah. How do you do a McCarthy story and not talk to Jim Harbaugh?
The story's not due tomorrow, so I've got time. He also, I don't know if you know, he's the head coach of the Chargers. Oh. He's a little bit busy, probably.
I got you.
But the point was, like, you hear stories about JJ in high school calling plays on the field, and they just gave him license to call the plays. And you hear the story about when it worked out. You never hear JJ called his own play and threw a pick six, and it went. So that's just kind of how these things go.
Well, there is a story metaphorical to or analogous to something you said to me at Bunkers the other night when you were, it was a couple of Sundays ago, and you just kept wondering. You kept saying from the river to the sea, but you didn't know what the river was and what the sea was. So I had to explain that to you.
I don't know what.
And once we got up, that's right. That was 15 million other people that I've seen of late. But anyway, we were talking about something, and McCarthy came up, and then I forgot to text you this, and I don't, I am like, hey, you should consider this story. I'm not that guy, but I do think there is a cool J.J. McCarthy story to be had. And I wanted to, I had some vocal maintenance days. So I brought it's the day you came on the day before
you were straining your mash.
You came on the radio, and I'm driving out for day 2 of minicamp, and you're with the con, and you ripped my wardrobe. And I wasn't wearing sandals, but you're like, Paul had a peculiar look. I was dressed like normal that day. But so I requested a
normal is subjective.
I requested a JJ McCarthy interview with Spearfish Sammy, and it was like, really? Why? I'm like 18 requests for him. If we come over the top, blah, 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 it's just bad for business. And I'm like, okay, cool. But my bit was going to be, remember when he did that press conference and he talked about how difficult 2020 was for him when he was at IMG?
Absolutely.
Okay, so from that, it was vein opening, man. He's like, I'm at IMG, things are going great, pandemic hits, I can't get home. And there were people who I think were from there with whom he was friends who lived closer, like, I don't know, Alabama, Georgia, all those places. So but he couldn't get home. And he was super depressed. And it was like a legitimate thing for him. I don't know if it was medication or whatever could get himself out of it, but he was really, really down. So from then to now, you see what I'm saying? It's like from down here to wherever up here is. Winning the Super Bowl would be the highest.
Yeah. But
it's a smelling the roses type piece. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the most interesting aspect of the IMG thing in that, you talk, and he's been
Hold on, I got business. Abbott messed up that break, but he blamed it on Miles Christinger. Do I have to take a break at any point the rest of the show?
Within the next minute to 90 seconds, absolutely.
So the IMG thing, and JJ's been very open in the past. I don't know the joke, but
it's the traffic guy who's based in Denver. And it's just
he's not here to defend himself.
He does weather and calls it USA Bank Stadium and Shakopee and Wayzata and stuff like that. But anyway,
program director, hydraulic desk.
JJ's been open about how tough that IMG experience, like at times was. But the interesting thing is, for as tough as it was, they went undefeated and won the national championship, and he was like the straw that stirred the drink for that team. So the interesting thing is...
So you're saying he's lying.
No. My point is, to be able to even navigate in the moment, to do what they did at IMG, you talk to people down there, and they're like, that's one of the greatest players that's ever come through here. I don't know if you know, that's a pretty good school with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. But no.
Is IMG only football?
No, they've got basketball and baseball.
How come you never hear about how come you never hear Riley Green? Riley Green.
Love Riley Green.
And we play, how excited am I?
You love.
I'm going to start right now looking for the Twins on Comcast. I'm so excited to watch Riley Green play against them. But I got to start right now at 11:43 to actually find where the channel is.
I'll let you take a break to do Miles Christopher or whatever the guy's name is. But Riley Green, I was driving around one day. I was getting coffee.
Yeah.
And I hear PA like, this Riley Green guy is really good.
You started sending me screenshots of him at midnight.
No.
After he went 3 for 4 with a grand slam, I wake up the next day, there's Riley Green's picture in my mug.
Well, the funniest thing about that was I heard you say, and I've always liked Riley Green, great prospect, but at the time he had like an 800 OPS.
Yeah.
Like the way you were talking about him was as if he had a 1200 OPS.
No, I said he's the most underrated player in Major League Baseball.
Like that's probably not true.
Well, you think Chris Bubic is, and ever since is that how you say his name?
Bubic.
Yeah, Bubic. Ever since you loved up Bubic 9 to noon on a vocal maintenance day, he's gotten shelled every freaking start.
Well, the Royals are, they're diseased. Somebody down in Kansas City should probably ask questions about the people running it, but that's just me.
How is Whitey Herzog these days? All right, let's pause. Final segment.
Meta AI is the personal AI to help you with whatever you need. Plus, it meets you where you are. Not only is Meta AI now an app, but it's also on the apps you already know and love. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Plus the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. It's easy to access wherever you are. So whether you're talking or texting, Meta AI is convenient to use throughout your day. Experience Meta's newest AI that's tailored to you by downloading the Meta AI app. Try the Meta AI app today on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's Megan.
Are you ready for hashtag Megan Summer?
Megan?
Megan.
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 Megan. Would you prefer that I give you a printout that you can read at your own pace? Megan? Yes, it's me. What a shock, etc.
On June 27th.
She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
All right, meat sacks, let's get to work. Are you going to stand in my way?
The bee is back.
You think you learned your lesson the first time? Megan.
Megan 2.0, only in theaters June 27th, rated PG-13.
Around the corner, Cat.
I can't wait until tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow might very well be too late. I can't wait until tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow could never come.
Any Ask Alec Anything talkbacks in the machine with which we can finish? If not,
would you like a serious Vikings-related one?
Yeah, because the Tolstoy of questions I have here is super compelling. So I'd like to hear what the 9 to noon reporters have.
Let me see here. Well, here, I mean, I got 30 of these.
Oh, sweet! Just so fire away.
Well, it was specific in relation to one particular player. Is what I was getting at here.
Hey, Nardo. This is Spoons here. This is a question for Alec Lewis. What are your expectations on J.J. McCarthy's first season? And do you think he's going to have a better year than Caleb Williams?
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
That's good. That's a good one.
Good question. That's a good question. Mm-hmm. My expectations are that Kevin O'Connell and this Vikings staff puts him in a very advantageous position oftentimes. There's probably going to be some throws and some plays where it's like, what?
Yep.
But there's just something about this kid. Like, all I know is when I talk to people around him and who have been around him.
How is Josh McCown?
The way that these people talk about him, like I said to a coach yesterday, and I was joking, like if I hope that anybody who spent time around me says a fraction of the things about me that they would say about him.
Mm-hmm. Or you're ballyhooed.
And then as far as the Caleb Williams thing, I mean,
Caleb might not be it. He might be good, but not it.
Well, I have a lot of faith in Ben Johnson. Mm-hmm. So for me, a lot of it is they'll put him in certain positions. But, I mean, I think that'll be a pretty close, comparison.
A week from today, how excited are you? Anniston, Alabama, fireworks and moonshine with my daddy John.
I'm excited. I'm going home.
Yep, tell John I say hi, okay?
Yeah, I will. And also, the weather here makes no sense right now.
Yeah.
It's either 50 and raining, 90 and sunny.
Yeah.
I just want 75 and smooth.
Right. Well, and you're going to Alabama where the heat index will be 104 with the humidity, and you'll get hit in the eyes. It'll cause your glasses to fog because of the weeping willows.
Great to see you. There was some stuff said that there was some stuff there that
God bless all of you. Be safe this weekend. Thank you very much for listening to 9 to Noon. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mankato. We have an emerging act we would like to unfurl on the stage. Put your hands together for Big Daddy Khan.
Big boy's back.
The game is over.
9 9 to noon? No, 9 to moonshine. Tasting like paint thinner, we're drinking the toilet wine. PA the kid in Deliverance with the banjo, and now he's a verbal painter, a lyrical Van Gogh. Better be great if you're Ace Bailey. Can't negotiate like sweetness if you're Deuce Staley. Not a crack on Deuce, but the point remains. Respect for standing tall goes to Danny Ainge. And it was fun catching up with Billy G. Can he throw a perfect game this summer free agency? Didn't inspire a lot of excitement earlier today. I mean, you make a delicious meal and he called it just okay. Too much moonshine? Well, that's a Dewey. I wonder if Alec Lewis is related to Huey. And when you read the backbiting underwear story, who'd you say would be more likely to perpetrate, Marv or PA?
Winnersville sounds better in FM.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Come on. Why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance, it keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.